So we have rectangle ABCD, and we want angle DEC, which is this guy here. Helps to highlight it. Okay, so we don't have any other things, although of course we know it's a rectangle, so all the corners are 90-degree angles. Statement 1 tells us that AD equals AE. So if AD equals AE, then what we have is an isosceles triangle. So we'll call this X, and we'll call this X. One of the angles is already accounted for, the 90-degree corner angle, which means that this is a 45-degree angle, and this is a 45-degree angle. Remember, isosceles triangles, the angles are opposite. The angles opposite the equal sides are themselves equal, and we had to split the remaining 90 degrees of triangle angleness into two parts, so each is 45. So that's part of it, so we know that angle AED plus DEC plus BEC is going to equal 180, but we only have one of the three, and we need two of the three to solve for this middle guy. Statement 1 insufficient, we get rid of A and D. Statement 2 tells us that CE over BE equals 2. Use red. So CE, which is this length here, we will call this 2x, and then BE will equal x, or we'll call it A. It doesn't really even matter what variable we use. I just don't want to use x because I don't want this to be confusing. These are not the same distances as the x's we have over here. So this may look familiar to you. Angles or triangles where the shortest side has a distance of something, and then the hypotenuse has a distance of double that, and one of the angles is a right angle, that should remind you of a 30, 60, 90 triangle, which tells us that the angles opposite the sides the sides opposite the angles of this measure, they're x times the square root of 3 and 2x. So the 2x, which is our 2a, is opposite the 90-degree angle. The angle that we're worried about here is opposite the side that's not. So A is that tells us that this is the 30-degree angle, and therefore this is the 60. But we don't know this angle over here because that was in statement 1, so statement 2 isn't enough on its own. In conjunction, though, we can see that we have two of the three angles that we need to add up to 180. So even though you probably have done the math in your head already, we don't have to add up 60 plus 45 and subtract that from 180. We just have to know that we could. Together, the two statements are sufficient, and it's answer choice C.